High FM, 101.9 megahertz of life.
South Africa is facing a serious and increasing sophisticated crime problem. Organized criminal networks are involved in everything from drugs, arms trafficking, extortion, cybercrime, wildlife crime. There is a whole economy around this. The latest Africa Organized Crime Index ranks South Africa as the most affected country in Southern Africa and second on the continent for criminality, with a score of 7.43 out of 10, and that's not a good thing, guys. The report also identifies organized criminal networks, mafia-style groups, and state-embedded actors as major drivers of criminality. What does this actually mean for ordinary South Africans? Is the country losing the fight against organized crime? And what does it seem that criminals are really achieving in terms of connection to politics? To unpack South Africa's crime crisis, we're joined by Mike Bolhuis, a special investigator. Mike, a very good morning. Welcome back to High FM. Hope you are well.
Thank you for the opportunity. Now we're all good, fighting the crime, as you say.
But the more we are exposed to it, and we're watching the Madlang commissions, we're just watching these things play out in front of us, it is becoming more and more concerning. How bad is it really?
It is as bad as you've said, and worse. The country is in an extreme situation, and if you look at, as you've said, all the crime statistics and the evaluations and the identifications of crime, it has a huge effect on everything downwards, like the economy, the infrastructure, the willingness of people to make a difference. You know, the mindset of people has totally changed, completely. And it's shocking to see that people just don't want to get involved anymore because they're scared. And they could be hurt, or they could themselves become a target or a victim.
And we've seen that. We've seen a lot of that.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, and it's a painful thing to daily get all these cases in that we get, and we deal with a lot of the other policemen that we are working with, which is just a few, which is about 20%, because in our opinion, up to 80% of our complete infrastructure in South Africa is corrupt. That includes the government. And we see what this does to people and what it does to, as I've said, the complete infrastructure in South Africa. So it is as bad as you've said.
So is it fixable? I mean, 80%, which is your estimate of police who are corrupt, is pretty much, I mean, it's a staggering majority. How
it is,
if at all, can this be fixed?
First of all, corruption does not necessarily mean you yourself commit physical crime or steal or do the crimes that we list. It means when you don't do your work and prevent crime.
Okay.
If you're a policeman and you don't do crime prevention, you are committing a crime because you are complicit. You're involved because you're allowing it to happen. You're not doing your job. You're getting pay for a job that you are not effectively executing. So people don't understand that and they don't realize that. So, you know, you have a lot of policemen that just looks the other way, or I won't get involved, because remember, organized crime and racketeering has a reputation. And the reputation is very, very strong in South Africa. If you don't play along, we will oust you, we will kill you if necessary, we'll intimidate you and your family, and we'll make sure you'll get nowhere. That's how racketeering in the police and organized crime in government works. And remember, organized crime and racketeering is the biggest crime syndicates organizations in South Africa, which involves a lot of people, foot soldiers, local policemen, municipality members, extreme businessmen, hitmen, taxi gangsters, gangsters, and then government officials and high-level police officials. That's how organized crime works. It's a machine. It's a complete machine and engine. And presently, these machines in our country is doing very well because crime can be committed and they can get away with it. Crime pays.
So do you fix this from government down, or do you fix it from foot soldier, junior policeman upward?
Both. But the government is ultimately responsible. It's very easy to explain, even in the smallest situation.
Mm.
If High FM has a boss, and anything happens in the radio station by any of the members, eventually High FM's boss will be held responsible.
Sure.
It's in any business like that.
Mm.
It's in my organization the same. I'm the known man, Mike Bolhuis, Specialist Investigators. If any of my investigators something happens,
back to you.
I will be responsible. Now, Cyril Ramaphosa is the head of this country. He took the oath. He is the president. He is eventually completely and totally complicit and involved and responsible for any and everything that goes down in the country. That means he should have, from the beginning, and he didn't, be so involved in everything so that he can correct and make sure that it does happen. But under his watch, all these things has happened. Under the watch of all these generals, these things has happened. Under the watch of all these ministers, these things has happened. So eventually downwards, they are all complicit and involved. And from the public side as well, they know all these things, and they also do get involved in small and petty crime. They give the envelopes, they take the bribes or do the bribes. They unfortunately are in a way forced, so I blame them less. Because what do you do if you drive from your station and a few corrupt policemen pull you over? And they explain to you what they're going to do to you if you don't give them 200 or 500 rand or 2,000 rand. They throw you in the van, they bounce you around, they empty all your cards at the ATM, they hold you for a night because they've got their contacts everywhere, and the next morning you're just released, but you lost all your money, you lost a whole day and a half. Can you afford that? So this is what people nowadays, when police and authorities is corrupt, confront the public, this is what they consider now, and then they get involved, unfortunately. Out of pressure and fear of what can happen to them, but many of them also get involved due to the economy in cutting corners and committing forms of corruption. So the country in itself has become a situation where every and anybody must now make a decision because the collapse is imminent.
The commissions that we are seeing, a lot of people saying, well, unless there's something material that happens afterwards, they really are pointless. Others saying that, well, even if nothing happens, at least we know what's going on. What is your view? Do you think that they are productive, and are we seeing any positive outcome from them?
Yeah, we are. This is the best commission that we've ever had. It has results. It has arrested, suspended, and exposed thoroughly. This is the best exposure we've ever seen. The previous commissions was many times cloak and dagger. And then when the results, if any, was presented, it was very little and few. But this commission is effective. We support it. The specialized police units that are involved executing the arrests are effective and good. There are hiccups, as we've seen with IDAC, but and it's a small unit. That's about 130 expert policemen. But you'll get that, and they've dealt with it. Unfortunately, in our opinion, they didn't deal with it correctly because it became a big hoo-ha. And, but anyway, if this didn't happen, we would have not known what was going on the insides of the very wheels of justice, that there can also seep in mistakes and as I have to call it as it is, corruption. It can happen. They all stay human, and they all make mistakes, and out of those mistakes, many a times, corruption follows. But the Matlanga Commission is very strong, very good, very effective, and the people should at least follow some of the highlights and be aware of what's going on, because they are identifying the absolute top infrastructure corruption in our country.
Do you think that can be the start to some form of correction?
Remember we last time spoke, then I said to you, what's our biggest concern?
Yeah.
Who do we replace them with?
Yep, you did. 100%.
Who do you replace all these generals?
Well,
that
what are you doing next week?
Suspended and arrested.
Yeah.
Well, if they'll call me in to run the country, I'll put my hand up.
Okay, good.
I'm ready, willing, able, and capable.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's others as well. I have the heart. I have the
so that's it.
Want to and the know-how.
The experience.
But there is very few experienced, effective, non-corrupt leaders in our country, and especially in the police. And it's a huge problem. Who do you replace all these generals that have been working for the police? If they haven't been working, they've just been there for years. Where do you get replacements?
Absolutely.
That's
that's the biggest concern.
Because you cannot put in just anybody. A policeman has a specific qualification, a policeman, and he must protect and serve, and he must be qualified. He cannot be overweight. He cannot be not fit as a fiddle. He must be extremely effective and feared and respected. That's just a few of the attributes that's necessary.
Absolutely. That is where we do need to leave it. Fascinating. Not an easy conversation, but an important one nonetheless. Mike Bolhuis, Special Investigator, talking to us about organised crime and the statistics here in South Africa.